Okay, good morning again, guys. Just realised there that I hadn't actually covered what I intended to talk about whenever I said alternatives in the past video there. So, just a quick addendum. Really, there's quite a debate about whether you should pay off your mortgage early or whether you should invest. Whenever it comes to the debate online, you will find lots and lots and lots and lots of content about various people giving their view on overpaying a mortgage or investing. And I suppose really the truth of the matter is it depends. Okay, it depends. Let's say the interest rate due to inflation had gone absolutely through the roof, and it was it was going to push the amount that you would have to spend on your mortgage up by such an amount that it was almost to the point of leaving you short of disposable income. So what I'm talking about is an interest rate so high, and I'm probably thinking of something in around the 20% mark. If there was an interest rate that had reached that kind of a point, and I have to say I haven't modelled this to see, but I just know that even at the point that we're at the minute, which is significantly less than that, a lot of people are finding that their mortgages have increased substantially as a result. So yeah, I can see a point where it would make more sense to pay off your mortgage, or certainly add a significant amount in terms of overpaying it, where the interest rate has gone absolutely crazy, and that is essentially, I suppose, to protect your income as much as anything else, because at that point the mortgage has become a kind of an unsustainable debt. Taking the other look at it, when you're investing in the market, we know that the market typically provides, or at least the US market, the S&P 500, typically provides a 10% or better average return per year. So just taking those basic figures, you could say, well, hypothetically speaking, if I am going to get an average of 10% per year in the S&P 500, maybe 10% should be the sort of the deciding point, where I decide whether I'm going to put more money towards investments or more money towards paying off the mortgage earlier. My eye's just been caught actually by this Time magazine headline, or at least the bit that's highlighted here. It says paying your mortgage is typically the safer option, because with a fixed monthly payment you know exactly what you're going to get. I'm going to say yes and no, quite frankly, because nobody really knows what is going to happen next with interest rates. We don't know if they're going to be pushed higher. We don't know if they're going to come back down. All we do know for sure as regards mortgages is that when you no longer have one, you no longer need to pay it. So I suppose, that lack of a mortgage arguably gives you more financial stability. And that's pretty much all you can really say as regards certainty and mortgages. And in my view, obviously, they are time framed. You have to have it paid off by a certain point in time, and depending on the contract, some will allow you to pay off more or less at particular points, and some will restrict how much you can overpay, or may charge a fee or a penalty or something for doing so. So, as regards investments, there is no certainty with that either. The 10% plus that I am referring to is an average. It has been seen to be about average over a number of decades, and having looked at the S&P at different points in time, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might have been William Bengen who had essentially made that calculation, and it appears to hold true even today. So it's I suppose it's where we're at the present time, where mortgage interest rates have increased. That does, to an extent, it makes investing less attractive, because of the fact that the return that you might expect to get on your investment is going to be lower than it's not going to be lower at the current time, but the return that you might expect to get on your investment is not that much more currently than the amount that you might expect to have to pay out due to the increased interest rates. I'm just thinking, actually, I've got a table which I had put up at some point in the past, which I thought was interesting or noteworthy. This is it here, actually. So this table shows, this is actually taken from Hargreaves Lansdown's investment magazine, and it shows the return in different markets by year. So as you can see, the years are listed along the top. So there's 2012, 2013, and it continues all the way up to 2021, 22. Now, what I found interesting in looking at these figures, particularly if we look at the figure for North America, is how the market appears to react after what we might consider a poor year. So let's look at the bottom here and see if we can identify what we might regard as a poor year. Now, if we look at the bottom here, everything appears to be positive, or at least there's no sign of a negative. On this one, we do have quite a few negatives, although in fact North America is showing positive 10%. The year after, North America does significantly better, actually at 23%. That's better than average. Now, looking at this next year across here, you can see global emerging markets down about 10%. North America was positive, but only by 2.7%. Now, look at what happens the year after. North America positive 32%. Okay, now if we consider that at the present time the S&P 500 and indeed world markets are depressed, they're not having a good year. Look at those two examples. The market there went from 10% to 23. Over here we've gone from 2.7 to 32. Let's see if we can find another what we might call a negative year. Well, that's not positive, not very negative, but North America did a bit less than average at 6.7. What was the next year? 16.4% growth the year after. Okay, now then it's dropped again. You can see here 2.4, and that was a fairly bad year. What year was that? That was 2019-20. Okay, no surprise. Look at the difference the next year, 34.8%. Are we seeing a trend, guys? Are you noticing anything? And if we look at the last year that's recorded here, minus 10% on global emerging markets, North America 6%, so it's very slightly less than average. But looking at these other figures, what do you think is likely coming around the corner? And do you want to stop investing now and miss out on that potential spike in growth, or do you think it's better to throw a lot of money at your mortgage value? Guys, I'm going to leave that thought with you. You can come to your own conclusions. And if you've watched this today, thank you. I will be back again next week with more content.